Hey there everybody, a warm welcome to Crackpot Assembly's Dungeon Kit. My name is Boris and I designed and modeled everything that you see here. And I'm going to talk you through some of the features of this system as it's a little bit unique. I think the first thing to say is this is a modular system, and so all the tiles are removable and placeable in any orientation that you like. In this case, for all these tiles, I'm using the open lock connectors with the magnets. In the kit, I'll also supply the open lock original with the dual ones. The other thing I wanted to show was this. So here, let me get a oops. So this is a solution I came up with for not having to use connectors at all, right? Well, I mean, I guess you can, if you can count this as a connector, that is. But when it comes to the tiles, you don't need it. So every tile has, you can see the cavities on the bottom and the corners, right? And this grid has the pegs, and so they just fit on top, and that way, yeah. Then you don't need magnets or anything else, and it's easy to move around. I mean, this isn't the sort of thing where you can now pick it all up in all at once and move it around. But still, if you have a table, or well, even something like this that you can set it on, and you can move it into place, move it away into storage, I think it works pretty well. Also because you can make this whatever size you want, right? These are cheap to print, so you could print off a whole bunch or just a small thing. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess, and that leads me straight to stackability. Right, so I think I've already shown you how on the underside of tiles you have these cavities, and then the way stacking works is just that you have other tiles with pegs in the corners, and you can put one on top of the other, right? There are different sizes of tiles. There's the full height risers, and then I also have half height here, and those. Well, this one's not painted, but still. Oh, actually, here. So sorry. I'll use a better example with the stairs. So you have one step, and then you need a half height riser to go beside it, and then you could put another floor there, and there you go. Right, that's the right height. If you're going a full floor, then you want to use, well, for the stairs, well, I'll use this one, another set of stairs, and then the full height riser in behind, and then the floor, right? So you can, well, that way you can build to any height. Now, these risers that I'm using here, these full height ones, they double also as walls, right? And so I point that out because I've tried to make the tiles multi-purpose, so you can use it. So you don't need too many different kinds of tiles, right? However, there's variations of this wall, of this sort of riser, and that's the one that is empty, And that's so just you can save on plastic. Yeah, I was thinking I should also make these that are 2x2s or even bigger if you have, and if people want them, I'll make them. That's no problem. Yeah, and then I also have these angled ones for, and unfortunately I don't have a copy here to show. I mean, apart from this one, but it's yeah, it's just for 45-degree angles. Okay, that's stacking. I mentioned variations, and here's another example of what I mean. So I think you'll find, well, assuming that you bought the kit, you'll see in the PDF that there are a bunch of, or that there are some tiles that go like they're called O1A, O1B, O1C, etc. Lots of floors are like that, and some walls. And so, for example, this is the same wall. Well, let's bring it close so you can see. And when I bring it close, you can see, it's like, especially I think, like these two big blocks jump out at you, like, right? It's the same thing. So what I've done is, for tiles which get repeated, which get placed together often, I've made variations. So in this case, like these walls have A, B, and C. I don't know if it's exactly that order, but whatever. You get 3 different kinds. And then when you place them all together, you don't get the repetition. Now, even if you place the 4th, it's still, like, anyway, it breaks up the tiling. And, yeah, I think it'll make for a better looking table. Another thing I wanted to mention about the modeling is it's all FDM optimized. Like I only have an FDM printer. I have a Bamboo P1S, which I'm very happy with, and so yeah, everything has been printed off that, and that's how I gauge whether it's going to work or not. So, and when I say FDM optimized modeling, what I'm talking about is that the details that I model with are relatively large. Like I don't try to put a ton of detail in, but what detail there is, I make larger so it's obvious. So the printers shouldn't have much trouble with it, and yet it still looks full, I think. I guess, well, I may as well also talk about FDM printing while I'm on the subject. And so this is almost entirely supportless, including something like the chains here, right? And I'll come back to the chains. But yeah, like even like the arches don't need supports. Even like these ribs. Yeah, I got bring it up close. The ribs don't need supports. Yeah. I've just tried to make sure that I use a lot of non 90-degree angles on the overhangs. There are a few, let me point out a few things which do need supports. One is the doorways. There we go. And they need a little bit. And that's just for where the hinges. Oh yeah, let me bring in the door in closer. So you see how the door. Oh, okay. I need to hold it better. You see here how the door is on a hinge, right? And so I put in little supports in these cavities just to make sure that it's a super level, clean print. And then there's supports as well. Like the door is printed separately, which I'll have a video about. And there's little supports just below the hinges as well for the same reason, just so that it's very precise when you place the door. And as you can see, the doors open and close. So the reason I bring up the chains is that I'm also including certain standalone props in this kit that they won't print by themselves, but that you would need to merge yourself. Well, I mean, sorry, this tile, and actually like everything you see here, are tiles that are in the kit. I haven't done anything custom to any of this, but you could. So let's say you want a chain on one of these risers. There's a separate chain file, and in the slicer, or at least in my bamboo slicer, and I'll have a video demo of this, you can just place it in and you merge it so that it becomes one tile, and that way you can print off your own custom pieces. So some of those custom pieces, like there's the chain, there's the bench, the brazier, the skull, the ribs, the sword and shield. There's all these different rock piles. So it lets you customize. Sorry, let me backtrack. I forgot about the chest, because this is another example of something that needs to be is pre-supported. So because these are printed off as separate pieces. Actually, there's 4 separate pieces here. There's the base, the lid. I don't know, but like the peg that goes through the hinge, and then there's a little cap that you epoxy at the end, so it all stays together. But in the end, you have this this nice little chest that you can open and close. I think so far all I've shown you is single tiles, but I have included some different footprints. So there are tiles which are 1x2s, and also tiles which are 2x2s, and I've done that just so that, well, because there's flexibility in layouts, and also so that there's an ease of use because I'd like people to be able to put this together quickly. So for example, I've made these room corners, which are 2x2, and I think that'll let people quickly assemble a room. And so I'll show you an example of that, probably speed that up a little. Right, so here's a little experiment on my part where I'm going to reassemble this in a totally different configuration, just to see how, see what I can come up with. Hey there, so one last thing I wanted to stress was how committed I am to having happy customers. And so for those of you who have bought the kit, please send me feedback if there's anything you feel could be done better. I would really like to know, because my intention is to make the best product I possibly can, and getting as much feedback as possible is going to help that. Or you can reach out to me, and I'll be there to answer questions or take feedback or whatever. Do demos. I do have a Discord channel that I'll be on at certain times, like fixed times, as a public forum. Anyway, I hope you like it, and see you later. Bye.